So in this segment, we're going to be talking a bit about Big David Frost and kind of his failure to understand that the Northern Ireland Protocol wasn't just a compromise on the UK's part, but I think it was a compromise on the EU's part as well. So you got Frosty talking about we are working round the clock to resolve these issues, talking about the Northern Ireland Protocol, saying we have sent a range of policy papers to the EU to outline solutions. Just like last week, we sent a detailed proposal for a veterinary agreement based on equivalence. And the thing is, you can't get equivalence unless there's a mutual amount of trust there. I've just seen an article recently which says that Australia is threatening to pull out of the UK-Australia deal because of the lack of access to the agricultural industry sector within the UK, kind of the lack of ability to export probably hormone beef and stuff like that. So getting equivalency and then having those kind of trade deals simply will not work. That's the reason why the EU want alignment, so that when the EU change rules, the UK has to follow. That's why you have alignment and not equivalency. You can have equivalency with a country like New Zealand, which is far more trustworthy. So it says, for equivalence, on equivalence, and for an authorised trader scheme to reduce paperwork and checks. Authorised traders still do go through paperwork and checks, so this would only benefit really just big businesses. It's a bit of a red herring from Frost, to be honest. He's saying we had very little back, probably because they won't entertain the thoughts of this stuff. We go on. In 2019, as a huge compromise for the greater good to control goods movements within our own country and customs territory. So sorry, that was a bit painful there. What he's basically saying is that the Northern Ireland Protocol is a huge compromise for the UK because we're checking goods within our own territorial area. If this situation is not totally unsustainable, we need to be able to do so in ways which do not disrupt everyday life and which respect everybody's identity and interests. Well, you could do that if we actually got alignment with the EU, pal. You would get rid of 90% of checks. Why aren't you going to do that? Because you want to get trade deals with dodgy countries, or not dodgy countries, but countries that have lower standards than us, right? There's a solution right there, Iceman. It says, we continue to work for negotiated solutions which achieve this, but time is starting to run out. We need to see progress soon. I hope we can see this. And, the thing that Frost kind of fails to understand here, the fact is that the Northern Ireland Protocol is a huge compromise for both sides, the EU as well. Let's not forget here that it's not the EU that are doing checks within the Irish Sea, it's UK Border Force that has to do it, UK customs officers. And that's a huge compromise because you're putting a lot of trust in the UK's customs team. Customs officers that are checking exports from GB to NI. But the thing is, we don't even have enough customs officers to check exports going from the EU to GB. Like, that's how stressed the system is right now. So this is a compromise from the EU. So we go to the doc's kind of tweets on this, as always, which, she says that the UK sees the protocol as a huge compromise and was expecting the EU to reciprocate, which they did. The Northern Ireland Protocol is a compromise on both sides. The EU expected the UK to follow through on its commitments, logical consequences of this agreement, which is true. Why would you sign up to an agreement and then not expect to have to adhere to that agreement? It's very stupid, don't you think? For example, the UK decided to apply EU customs legislation the UCC in Northern Ireland. So if we look at what the UCC actually is, it's the Union Customs Code, a key element of the ongoing modernisation of EU customs. So this is customs standardisation amongst the EU. So I think the UK uses a slightly different system, and we still have paper-based stuff and things like that, whilst the EU are trying to phase that out. The Union Customs Code, the UCC, aims at a paperless and fully automated customs union. To achieve that objective, the Commission and the Member States have to upgrade some existing electronic systems and introduce some new ones for the completion of customs formalities. And the UK system is very old, and I don't think it's integrated with the EU system, so that can cause problems here when it comes to exports, because the UK companies are going to need training on how to use these sort of EU-based systems, because when we export to Northern Ireland, because it's in the EU's customs union when it comes to goods, so the single market when it comes to goods, that can cause problems for the UK because we're using a different system to them by the looks of things. We have not standardised it like they have. And the UCC entered into force on May 1st 2016, but there are still some transitional arrangements. So we've had plenty of notice to check this. I mean, I think this was before even the referendum vote, so we've had plenty of time to know about this stuff, but once again, we failed. She goes on to say, seems like the UK was under the impression that the compromise it made was so big that you possibly wouldn't ask it to go through with it. I mean, I don't understand why the UK thought that they would be able to get away with not sticking to the agreement. Also worth remembering that trusted traders are also required to submit customs declarations. So it would reduce, I think, some of the paperwork, which Frosty talks about. He says that it wouldn't get rid of all of it. I think it's here. It would reduce the paperwork and checks, but it won't get rid of it. But I think that's a red herring anyways, because it's not going to resolve most of the issues, especially for, SME, small medium enterprises. But the simple fact remains is I think this is probably the most interesting point here, that the UK was under the impression that the compromise it made was so big that the EU won't possibly ask it to go through with it. The UK for some reason assumed the EU wouldn't ask us to fully implement the Northern Ireland Protocol, and I don't understand why that's the case. And this is one of the other reasons why we're having so many problems, that the UK is by the looks of things really expecting the EU to compromise on this stuff, on the Northern Ireland Protocol, but the EU won't do it because they're going to stick to the arrangement. That's the simple fact. The EU are going to stick to the arrangement they signed with the UK, and they expect the UK to do the same. But we are not doing that. We are continuously threatening unilateral action on so many things right now. Chilled meats is the newest one. And it's simply unsustainable. You can't run an agreement where neither side trusts each other and one side keeps taking unilateral action and refuses to do the things it has to do in order to avoid the checks, which is temporary alignment. That's what we have to do, but we're not going to do it. But anyways, I found this quite interesting, especially the doc's words here when she talks about the idea that the UK was under the impression they wouldn't have to stick with the deal. So anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.